When will the Marvel Netflix shows be on Disney Plus? Will The Batman be the best Batman movie yet? And are we on the verge of World War III? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello everyone and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, and today, not a lot of stuff going on. I know that there's a lot of stuff actually going on in the world, but as far as entertainment news is concerned, not a lot when you think about it, honestly. Like with movies or with TV series or anything like that, there is some stuff happening. There's been some more recent news going on in the world of social media. Go ahead and say Snapchat. Now, we all know the app Snapchat. Some of us use it. Some of us may don't. A lot of people use it, actually. I use it. Been using it for years. They just allowed a new update that just happened with Snapchat, which is something that's been coming that a lot of us have been thinking that it should happen, and a lot of people actually did want this to happen. So it's like one of the best updates, honestly, for a social media app that pretty much everybody is okay with. You're either okay with it and glad it happened, or you just don't care. Like, there's no one who is mad at this, you know. Some people are like, well, why couldn't this happen sooner? But, you know, it finally did happen. And what this update I'm talking about is that Snapchat has finally allowed users to finally update or change their username on the app. This is great for people who were younger, and like, I'm talking people who were like, I don't know, like 13, 14 years old when they first created their Snapchat account to talk with their other junior high and high school friends back in the day, or have your like older brother or sister on it, or your cousins or any other friends, you know. You created a username back then, and it could have been a funny username back then, and it was weird or whatever back in those days. But now that you were an older person, like in my age range, you know, and if you're in your early 20s or even my age, which is 22, you question why you chose the username that you did back in the day. Same way with people who like make their gamer tag on Xbox or your username for PlayStation, and you're like, why this? Why did I choose Little Knuckles 69 or whatever? You know, that's not my username. I just came up. That was the first thing that came up in my head. Like, why would you choose a name like that or whatever? Having the number 69 in your name, or 420 or whatever, you know. And you wonder, like, why did I do this? And like, the username is going to haunt me forever. Well, Snapchat now allows you to change it. I think it's free, and I don't know how many times you can do it. Maybe it's like a one-time thing. Or, I mean, the username I have on Snapchat, I created it because I didn't think it was funny. I mean, it's close to my name, so it's like I created it thinking, like, I don't want to change this ever again. Knowing that the only way you were able to change usernames back in the day was you just had to create a whole new account, which, of course, would suck because you would lose all your entire friends list. You'd have to, like, put on your story or somewhere and be like, hey, I got a new Snapchat, add me at this new username. You'd lose like any streaks you had, any saved photos on the app of Snapchat, through your memories you would lose. And it's just a real big hassle to do that unless your Snapchat app just craps up on you or whatever. Understandable, of course, or if you're banned, which that's a whole nother thing, I guess. But they allow you to change your username now. So if you ever made a weird username back in the day and you thought it was hilarious or funny, or if it was just a prank, and it's like, oh, I need to change it now. And it's one of those situations where if somebody asks for your Snap and you feel embarrassed to give them the name, this is for you. And of course, I don't know. I think it's for free. I didn't really look it up. I saw it's a big deal for a lot of people. It's kind of blown over now because it's like a whatever. And it's something that Snapchat should have had, 4 or 5 years ago. But I'm glad they have it now. They give us the option. Because most places, you can change your like on Facebook, it's just your name. You don't really have a username. It's just your name, And then on Instagram, I think you can change your username. Yeah, I think, can you? Yeah, you can, but not a lot. So if you got to like really just pick one. And then I think Twitter, I don't think you can. I think you have to make a whole new username or something along the lines. Because pretty much every username in the world right now is taken when you really think about it. Any form of John Smith 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 9, 8, or whatever, like every form is pretty much taken of any name that is currently, that people have as their name, of course, like a lot of, there's millions and millions and close to probably over 1 billion usernames taken already. So Snapchat now allows this username change for any of you out there that has Snapchat and you want to change your username, you now can. Just go on the app and go to your settings, and then it'll probably be around there somewhere. So, or you might have to go to Snapchat.com and actually look on their website and their settings and all that kind of stuff, and go to the help page and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, going into entertainment news. Not a lot, like I've said, has happened. And of course, this week, actually today of this recording, The Batman is premiering in theaters. And yeah, I am excited. As of right now, I plan on seeing it tonight. It will be, I think it's going to be a good movie. I mean, from what the critics say, that they say that Robert Pattinson playing this new Batman is now going to be the crowd's new favorite Batman. Of course, everybody and the critics alike and all the people who have watched Batman movies all basically agree that the best Batman movie we have is The Dark Knight, which is Christian Bale's Batman going up against Heath Ledger's Joker. And really, Heath Ledger's Joker pulled it all together, even though Christian Bale was a decent Batman, in my opinion, because it was kind of putting him in the real world. And then, of course, after that, we had Ben Affleck's Batman, which he didn't even have a show or a movie or all. He was just in Batman vs. Superman and the Justice League movie that sucked. And then they redid it with the Snyder Cut. And then now Ben Affleck's going to be in the Flash movie, like I talked about last week with Jaron. We're going to get Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton's Batman in the Flash movie. And then this week, we got The Batman with the new Batman, Robert Pattinson. I think he's going to do good, because Matt Reeves is a good director, and the movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes long, which is a long movie. I mean, it's basically 3 hours. I really have high hopes, and I do believe it's going to be a good movie from my perspective. Like, I'm only one person, I only have one opinion, but some of y'all out there might base your movie seeing needs around my views and reviews of movies or shows, and that's an interesting way to think about it. That if anybody listens to me give a review of a movie and then that depicts on whether you're going to see it or not, that is very interesting. Any movie that I review on here or any show, you should just watch it. Just because, why not? Most of the stuff I review here is stuff that I actually like. I'm not going to review a terrible movie. So it's like all the stuff I watch, I know, usually with the stuff I watch, most like 80% of it, I know that it's going to be good ahead of time, because I don't want to waste my time watching a terrible movie. That's the main reason. Like, I don't review every movie or show that I ever watch, because I wasted my time watching a terrible movie that sucks. So why would I waste y'all's time by giving you a review just saying, this movie sucked, 1 out of 10, acting's terrible, CGI was gross, the story made no sense at all, I don't see why they would make another one of these because it's terrible and this one should never even been made. Like, why would I'm not going to waste y'all's time talking about that for like 5 or 10 minutes because of how bad a movie is, when I could just say, y'all could see it if you want, and then my opinion is different. Like, there are movies that people like that I don't like, and there are movies and series that I like that some people don't like The Boys and Invincible on Amazon Prime. I like it, but it's not meant for some people, Some people don't want to watch the visceral R-rated stuff that happens in both The Boys and Invincible, one being live action and Invincible is animated, which that's also this Friday. I forgot about that. This Friday, The Boys, what's it called? Diabolical, I think. It's a series on Friday, which would be yesterday if you're listening to this to new. It premiered on Amazon Prime with 8 episodes. Each episode is about like 15, 20 minutes, I think. And each episode is also in a different animation style, which will be interesting because it's animated and it's based around The Boys, which is always good. And I think the next season of that show comes out in June, so we'll see about that. But yeah, like if you watch a show or a movie based off of what I say about it, one, I mean, if you trust me for giving good word on a movie or something, I appreciate that. But in all honesty, you see what you want. Like, I could care less. Honestly, I mean, I don't, Like, I mean, whatever movie you watch, like, I care about people's opinions and what they think about movies, and I like to ask people, like, oh, what you think about this movie, about this part, and this character being revealed, and this one showed up, like, with Marvel movies and stuff like that, too. But if you think that I am a great source for reviews or whatever, I mean, great on you, and me, I guess, because I review it because I like it, and why not? And some people might enjoy that. But you see what you want. If you want to watch this movie, have at it. Like with The Batman. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be one of the best, probably top 5 or even top 3 best Batman movies to ever come out. And there are a lot of them. And I think that it will just be great acting, great storytelling, and just a great movie all around with all the people involved in it. And I'll probably review it in 2 weeks. The next time it's just me on here. So, yeah. So, The Batman premiered this week, and I'm definitely going to give it a watch, of course. So, I did want to talk about this because this is kind of entertainment news, but more what's happening in the real world. Of course, the ongoing conflict between Russia invading Ukraine. Now, I don't get into politics, and I won't get into the little political things nitpicking about this current, I guess you can call it a war. I don't really know what it would be. An invasion, I guess is what it is. The Russian invasion of Ukraine. There's entertainment stuff based around that because so much stuff, like there was this soccer team in England that was supposed to go up against the Russian team in the World Cup playoffs or whatever, and now they don't want to because they're from Russia. But going into the entertainment stuff with movies, so many studios have now pulled all of their movie releases for the next couple of months out of Russia until this is over with, I guess, until Russia stops or they have a ceasefire, they come with a treaty or something other between Russia and Ukraine, or Russia takes over Ukraine, or whatever happens between this conflict, or even if it escalates more with another country getting involved, and God help it's not the United States, because we don't need to do that. Nobody needs to make that call for us to get involved, and I hope we don't, honestly, because we go through enough with ourselves. We have enough conflict in the U.S. We don't need another conflict fighting a big country like Russia anyway. Not when we got so much nuclear stuff and cyber warfare and all this crap that can happen. I mean, if a war across the world actually happen, it would not last as long as other wars have. It would be one of the shortest wars in history, I imagine. It would not last a year, definitely, because of nuclear weapons and cyber warfare. Like I just said, cyber warfare, you can launch EMPs or stuff like that, which is electromagnetic pulse, and it's like kind of like a missile type weapon. If you don't know what an EMP is, what it is that it's like, I guess you could say it's like a bomb too, but what it is it's a weapon, and it makes all electronics go off and not work. So like your phones, your TVs, your computers, all that kind of stuff would not work anymore. Anything electrical, electric cars as well. So it's like that's a reason why gas cars are better than electric cars. Like I've talked about Tesla and all that, but when it comes down to it, a gas car would be better than electric because you can drive a gas vehicle if an EMP happens, unless that shuts down those types of vehicles too because of the electrics and all that kind of stuff in it. Like radios would be off. You wouldn't, like, if you could drive somehow, you wouldn't be able to listen to radio or Spotify or anything. It'd be dead silent because you wouldn't have any electronics, and no more PlayStation, Xbox, or nothing like that either. And then not even to get into the conversation of nuclear weapons. I mean, one of them can set off in the middle of the United States and take out a quarter of our population anyway. But with all that, you know, hopefully not getting into that point, but as of right now, like movies and so much stuff is now pulled stuff out of Russia. I mean, their dollar currency called the ruble has now 1 ruble in Russia is now worth less than 1 cent in America, and it used to be worth more than $1. So that is just wild because everybody's putting sanctions and everything on them. So I don't want it to get to any more than it already has. No matter what happens, a treaty, ceasefire, Putin calls off the war, this invasion, or Russia just takes over Ukraine and stops there, hopefully. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, movies and all that being taken out of Russia, that's something because they can't see The Batman or Morbius. And I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 comes out soon as well. So it's like it was like Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, and somebody else, another studio company, pulled all their movies out of Russia that are coming out in the next couple of months. So, like, their economy just full on nosedived right through the ground, and now their economy is just full on 6 feet under. So it's something over there, yeah. So also, just a little bit more entertainment news. It's really only big thing that kind of happened this past week. The Netflix live-action Marvel shows, I've talked about them here before with the Daredevil series, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, The Punisher, and The Defenders, all will be arriving on Disney Plus on March 16th. That is right, we'll be able to watch Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and I don't know the other actors' names, but you'll be able to watch like his Daredevil show, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and the Defenders, and I'm pretty sure you can watch The Punisher as well if they put it on Disney Plus, because that show is very violent and bloody. They have upped the parental controls because of this, because of the violent nature that was Daredevil and all these other shows. They have upped like I just said, the parental controls. Therefore, if you don't want your kid to, like if they watch The Mandalorian, of course, that's okay. But in any other Marvel movie or show or any like Disney kids thing or whatever, you don't want them accidentally watching Daredevil beat the crap out of Kingpin or nothing, you know. So they did do that. And I'm excited, you know, because these characters now can come back to Marvel, of course, with Daredevil being in Spider-Man No Way Home back in December. And maybe one of them or literally anybody can show up in the next movie, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, in May. So it's going to be interesting to see. And soon, hopefully, either by that time or in the next month, we'll get the Thor trailer for Thor Love and Thunder, which is coming. It's coming in July, and we're already just now getting into March without a trailer. But Marvel really likes to keep you on your toes the entire time. So Morbius comes out in less than a month on April 1st, so that's really the next Marvel movie. And then a few days, literally the same week, like a day or two before that, is Moon Knight on March 30th. So we'll have a series and a movie right back to back there, and then Moon Knight will continue going on and probably end right before or during when the Doctor Strange movie comes out. So it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens. Of course, it's always interesting to see what actually happens in the Marvel Universe and all that, So, but with all that being said, I think it is time to get to some questions. Of course, if you have a question that you would like for me to answer on a future episode of the Toddcast, you can go to my YouTube channel. The link is down in the description of this episode, wherever you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever. Down in the description of this episode, there's a link there. Tap on it, click on it, however you're listening to this. Go to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, and then go to one of the videos, and then in the comments section, just comment a question that you would want me to answer on a future episode. I will be able to see it easily. There's a very easy way for me to see it, so you ain't got to worry about that. Like, oh, is he going to see my question? Yes, I will end up seeing your question. So you ask it. You can also submit a drink or food or candy or whatever you would like for me to review on a future episode, and hopefully I'll be able to get it. But got any question, just submit it down below, and I'm just going to go ahead, and I got 2 questions right here. I'm going to see if I can answer them to the best of my ability. So we'll go ahead and get into these. The first one being, of course, Applebee's or Red Lobster? And that was the whole question. That was it. It's just asking me, Applebee's or Red Lobster? Huh. That's a good question, and thank y'all for both of these questions. Applebee's or Red Lobster? Well, to be honest with you, I think I've been to Red Lobster more. I've been to Applebee's once. So I'm more of a Chili's person. I feel like Applebee's and Chili's are kind of close together. Applebee's, Red Lobster, Chili's, they all got this weird vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I've eaten at Chili's a lot, way more than Applebee's and Red Lobster. But they all have this weird, I don't know what they are. Like, I know they're sit-down restaurants, but they're everywhere. They're somewhere in between fast food and nice restaurants. Because I don't consider Applebee's a fancy restaurant. Like Applebee's isn't like a Doe's or like a 5-star steak fine dining restaurant. But I mean, their food's good. Their food's high quality sometimes with Applebee's, Red Lobster, and Chili's and all that. I'm throwing Chili's in there because I've always put Applebee's and Chili's together. They're very different, and I've only been to Applebee's once, like I've said, and I was a kid, and I remember going there because it's still there. I don't remember what I ate. Probably like some chicken tenders or something as a kid, because that's all kids eat apparently, is chicken tenders and fries, and drink a Sprite probably or something. I don't know. To me, from just based off of my experience, I would say Red Lobster, only because I've been there before. More. I've been there like probably 3 times in my life. Like, it's not a lot because I just don't go there. Like, if I go to a city or a town or wherever, why would I go to Applebee's? There's always that perception, that's the word. Not conception. This perception that Applebee's sucks or something like that. A Red Lobster might not be good or something, And Chili's to me is always usually good because of their burgers, but Chili's ain't even in this question. So I would choose Chili's if it was an option because I actually like their burgers and they have good food in my opinion. But out of these two, between Applebee's and Red Lobster, I guess Red Lobster, because I've been there before and I definitely should go to both of them and within the same week of each other. That way I can get a good read of the atmosphere and what they have on their menu and if the food's good to me and all that. Red Lobster has them cheddar biscuits, and them things are good. And then they got the recipe you can buy at like Walmart or whatever with the make-ins and all that, and you can make them at home, and that's still pretty good. And as long as you make them right, they're still pretty good. But what does Applebee's have? Burgers, pasta, some breadsticks that they ripped off from Olive Garden. What? I would compare Red Lobster and Olive Garden because Red Lobster is like fancy restaurant for poor people. You can say and same with Olive Garden. They're the poor fancy restaurants. You know what I'm saying? They're not, it's not cheap food, but it's not like $50 steaks or nothing like that, And I mean, and when I said that, you understand. You right there listening to this, you are understanding what I'm saying, that Red Lobster and Olive Garden are fancy restaurants for the poor people. And I'm not saying full on homeless people. I'm saying you aren't a millionaire. That's a restaurant for you. Unless you have a crap ton of money, then you can go to a 5-star restaurant and all that. But if not, you're going to Olive Garden. But out of Applebee's and Red Lobster, I would have to say Red Lobster, but just because I've just been there more. And I mean, what does Applebee's have? They have burgers. I really need to look up their menu, honestly, because I have no clue. Applebee's, here we go. The one they started putting in to go. They Applebee's have a drive-thru now. Isn't that didn't me and Sharon talk about that? Did we say something about that last week? I don't remember. But if we did, well then good, because apparently they have the one closest to me has a window now that you can pick up your food. Why is this? Oh, they got Shamrocks type stuff. St. Patrick's Day coming up. Don't forget to wear your green. $5 saintly sips. Tipsy Leprechaun Jameson Irish whiskey. Man, that is green. That does not look that good. And then you got Pot of Gold Colada, which is made with Captain Morgan. Good Lord. What are we even doing? Drink responsibly. We have a new drive-thru window. Oh, man. That's funny. They're advertising these drinks on their website. And then they're like, we have a new drive-thru window. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Wow. I'm going to use Red Lobster. Applebee's. We're trying to sell some alcohol, so buy from our drive-thru. Drink responsibly. Oh, man. I'm not advocating drinking and driving or anything, because that's a terrible thing, but Applebee's apparently. Oh, man. It's a good thing I'm not sponsored by Applebee's, because they probably, I know the CEO of Applebee's is listening to that. Mr. Apple himself, Mr. Bees, Mr. Birds and the Bees is definitely listening to this. Oh, man. I'm thinking I'm not giving that guy any money to talk about us. God, that's funny. Oh, man. Okay. So, yeah, Red Lobster is what I'm going to choose out of that and Applebee's. Applebee's, you funny. You funny. I like it. Go to the website. You should definitely check out Applebee's.com. Because it's got some stuff on it. It's funny, man. Whew. All right. So, thank you for that question. Next question we got is, would you rather? Okay, I like it so far. Would you rather start a colony on another planet or be the leader of a country on Earth? Oh, that's good. I mean, if I start a colony on another planet, that kind of means I'm the leader of that place too. Or I can just lead a country on Earth. I could lead the U.S. I think I could do a decent job at that. What would I choose? I kind of would want to lead another colony on a planet. Like, if we're going to, like, Mars or whatever, and the idea of, like, Elon Musk getting us to Mars, and then I'm there, and he's like, okay. And Elon says that I'm going to run a colony, as in me, I would do that, honestly. Like, if we got the tools and we got the stuff to survive for a while and be able to build up and plant stuff and be good on Mars and get some water on here and all that kind of stuff, I would definitely lead and start a colony on Mars. Because, I mean, Mars is kind of the only other planet we got that we could. I mean, the moon, maybe, but Mars is really the only other surface planet that we can do it, because every other planet is either Mercury's way too hot and it's like completely lava, and every other planet is nothing but gas or ice because it goes too far out, and it's like, oh, this planet rains diamonds. It's like, oh, I don't think we should go there. Like, if we went to, what's another place? Is Venus one? I know Venus is a planet, but Venus is gas, right? I guess. I don't know. One of them we can start. I guess, yeah, Venus was the one that we talked about, that I could do like a cloud city type thing, like how they did in Star Wars Episode 5. That could be something, if we had the ability to do that, that'd be nice. But I think I could lead a colony on Mars. That'd be pretty cool, So, yeah. Out of that, I mean, leading a current country now, like, if I could choose any country in the world to lead, I would definitely probably choose the United States, just because there's stuff that needs to be done and stuff that should be done to try to better the country and get on good terms with every other country on the planet. And I feel like that would be stuff that I should do, or would need to do, as like the president. And having a good administration and cabinet and all that with me would be nice too as well. And it would just need to be a lot of stuff that I would do stuff to like better the people and all that kind of stuff too. But starting a new colony on Mars is just straight up cool, and being able to say like, hey, I'm the first ever technically leader of a colony on a new planet that we've never been to, that's not even civilized, like there's no civilization on Mars that we know of, unless it's like alien or whatever. But I would be the leader of the first human civilization on another planet, which would be pretty cool, just to go down the history books of that, So yeah, I would say another colony on a planet, like that's my choice out of those two. So with all that being said, remember, if you want to ask me a question, you can do so by going to the comment section of a video on my YouTube page. And also, like I said, you can submit a drink with a specific flavor and brand. That way I know what drink you're... Don't just say orange soda, because there's a million of them, or root beer, because I'll just choose which ones I want to do, If you want me to do a specific one, make sure you really specify which one it is. But today, I have got 2 flavors of, you guessed it, Mike's Hard Lemonade. I have got a history with this brand. Of course, it was almost a year ago where I drank a little too much of Mike's Harder Lemonade in the cans, and I reviewed 5 of them in one episode, and good Lord, I was gone. Like, out of the 5, I'm pretty sure I drank a total of 3.5, because I drank like 2 whole cans and then a half of each of the other cans. So that adds up to be about 3.5 total. And it was interesting. But, I mean, you can go listen to that. That was like a year ago, around the same time. Oh, but I got Mike's Hard just in the glass bottles. And I don't think I've reviewed these 2 flavors before. And so I'm just going to go ahead and review them right now. First one we got right here is Mike's Hard Pineapple Strawberry. It's got a really nice peach tint to it. The pineapple strawberry, of course, the strawberry mixed like the pink mixed in with that peach looking flavor that you would get, Nice looking color. Smells good. You got that alcoholic smell to it. Let's look at this. Do not drink if you're pregnant. Okay. Good to know. 5% alcohol. That's about it. That's all that's on here. No other stuff. Cold, hard, refreshing. So, Mike's Hard Pineapple Strawberry. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay. Okay, I'm getting the flavor slowly. I don't know about y'all, but for me, like, the alcohol always hits first, so it has to take a little bit for me to actually get any type of flavor from any of them. It's not that bad, honestly. Mike's Hard Lemonade is really the only type of alcohol I can actually just chug, which is not a lot. There's not many of them that I can do that with. That's not bad. I don't really it's not really that strong of any flavor. It's real subtle to me. I can taste the sugariness and the alcohol in it. But other than that, and some strawberry, I don't know what pineapple tastes. I don't remember what pineapple tastes like, so I don't know if I'm tasting it or not. But it's good. It's not the best. It's not like wanting to make me throw up or nothing. But it's just I don't get much flavor from it, so it's kind of bland to me. But I'd give it a 72. That's what I'm thinking, because it's not bad. It's actually decent, It's one of the better alcoholic drinks. Like, Mike's Hard is a solid brand. They got some solid drinks over there. Mike knows what he's doing, because the stuff he does with this kind of stuff, with Mike's Hard Lemonade and all the other flavors that he's got, they're good. I mean, I like them, and even with the harder ones, the ones that are in the cans, those are pretty good too. But it's like, that needs more flavor. Like, I get the alcohol, the kick part of it, but where's the flavorness? You first get the kick and then you get the relief. Well, where's the relief? There's a little bit, and I can get that hint of it, but I'm just getting the kick of the alcohol, And that's why you need a good flavor in your alcohol drinks. That way it will not just constantly be kicking you with alcohol every time you try to take a drink of it. And maybe if I drank a bunch, I might get flavor, because the more you drink, and the more you start feeling it, and you're like, ooh, you start getting it, the less alcohol that you taste and more flavor you get. That's why I was like, man, this is good. It ain't even alcoholic. And it's like 8% alcohol or 10% or whatever. And you're like, oh man, I have drank too much. If I got to that kind of situation, I might get it, but I'm not about to sit here and just chug these things. So, I got stuff to do. All right. So, the second flavor I got here of Mike's Hard is Mike's Hard Black Cherry Lemonade. It's got a real nice purple look to it. My favorite color is red, but purple really is a nice color. I do like purple. Still 5%, and it's just black cherry. There's a lot of black cherry flavored stuff too. So, black cherry lemonade. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Oh, that has got some flavor to it. And it doesn't have that alcohol smell. When you smell something that's very alcoholic, you can smell it, but this ain't. I'm really snorting this. I'm really snorting this. I'm like nose deep in this bottle. I don't smell anything. It might just be me. I don't have the COVID because I smelled the other one, so. That ain't bad. It's actually kind of good. It's got a weird flavor. Anything that's any type of cherry flavored has always sat weird with me. It's better than the pineapple strawberry. I'm just going to give it a 74. Slightly better because you get more flavor out of the black cherry. The pineapple strawberry did not have as much flavor as I wanted it to have. It's got a very nice look. In my opinion, the pineapple cherry look of the drink with that peachness, strawberry-esque look to it versus the black cherry purple look. To me, the pineapple strawberry looks better. It looks more like a drink, like a mixed drink color with that pinkish tint to it, Ugh. I'm sorry, it is making me burp like crazy. But the black cherry looks are deceiving because the black cherry actually has a lot more flavor than the pineapple strawberry, and I think it's because cherry alone, any cherry flavored thing is strong, to me at least. Like, how a lot of people will say that, lemon flavored stuff is really strong. Well, to me, it's cherry stuff because like cherry suckers, any type of cherry candy, it's always like dark red. I really never liked any type of like cherry jelly beans or anything like that, or any cherry candy. I'm not a cherry guy. I was always like a strawberry and definitely a watermelon flavor person. But right here in this situation, black cherry is better than pineapple strawberry just because pineapple strawberry doesn't have much of a flavor to it. It's there. I can feel it. And I'm feeling it right now. I didn't drink much, but I'm getting that feeling of up in my arms and stuff, and you feel it, and you're like, oh, and it goes into you, and it hits your brain like immediately that you're drinking something alcoholic. That's already hit me. But yeah, black cherry is slightly better over pineapple strawberry, only because it has more flavor to it, and less of an alcoholic kick. But the flavor itself is strong. Like, cherry really kind of dominates over it. So with that, we got Mike's Hard Pineapple Strawberry at 72, and Black Cherry sitting at a solid 74. And with all that being said, if you have a question or a drink you'd like for me to try, make sure you comment it down in the comment section of the video on my YouTube channel. And with all that being said, I think that's going to do it for this episode. As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. Make sure you follow the Toddcast on Instagram for updates at _Toddcast_ only on Instagram, of course. And tell your friends and your family to give it a listen. And thank all of you once again for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, we're just going to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.